8 hours.
Oh, well, there goes my afternoon.
Yeah, there goes my all-nighter. Damn it. Okay, now I gotta just share this everywhere. There's a share button, right?
I'll just play the Sega Genesis collection while nothing happens on screen.
Well, nothing happens.
Yeah, man, that's a good collection.
All right.
How do you get it to set? I mean, this is the first time using this Hangout. How do you get it to set to where it's pulling up whoever's talking?
Oh, you double click on yourself, like your own icon.
That's just showing me.
It's just showing you. That's sad, boy. That you're gonna have to look at yourself the entire time.
Oh, I think I figured it out.
Okay, I'm sharing it everywhere before we begin. For those of you joining, hello. There's probably, it says we have 0 viewers, right? No, we have 1 viewer.
That'd probably be me.
That'd probably be you. Or me.
Too.
All right, I just gotta say, we're live, boys. We're live. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Just have the Kool-Aid man come in like, oh yeah. And of course, my face awkwardly is the thumbnail.
Oh man, you know I love it when you do that.
Yeah, that's sad. Now I gotta post it on the Twitter page. God, this is tedious. But yeah, I need to remember what my predictions were again. I never fucking write them down. Goddamn. Right. I was about to say the password out loud. That would have been bad.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.com. That's my password. We're live.
My buddy accidentally told me his password in middle school, and his password was "kill my parents 420." And I was like,
nice.
I know you're a teenager, but that's a bit much, isn't it?
Savage.
You should try logging in and see if it still works.
I know, right? Like now he's like a 30-year-old programmer. Let's try this. Kill my parents.
At least he didn't make that his PS3 gamer tag.
Yeah,
because he would still have it.
I did have a friend who had for 8 years his PS3 gamer tag was Vag Eater, and it looked like it was badly spelled Vegeta. And after about 8 years, it got reported, and he had to change it.
Oh my god, tragic. Holy god. Mine was my first Xbox gamer tag was I wanted it to be like back with a vengeance, but I couldn't fit the entire damn phrase in there, so
back
I said
with the vagina. Yes, I see.
no. You know what, I'm not even gonna finish that story. That's just a better punchline, to be honest. Let's talk about Nintendo at E3. Okay, I think we're good.
A person I actually know, his gamer tag is still this on Xbox. It's your real dad, and so every time I play games with him, I'm like, buddy, your name is awful.
And this is on Xbox, right? So he has no excuse.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you could pay to change that, bud. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay your dad. Okay.
Okay, I think we're about ready to begin. What did you say, lads?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we got the chat open. Everything open. Okay, cool. Here we go. And in 3, 2. Oh, gotta get my music cue ready. It's gonna be amazing music cue. Okay. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 69.
Oh.
Oh no.
We did it. We made it.
I can't believe you've done this.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought he was gonna rickroll us.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm classy. I don't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're here. Welcome to Game and Talk Podcast here on nukethefridge.com. So we're going to be talking about some Nintendo stuff today because you know we never talk about Nintendo on this podcast ever. That's a lie right there. But joining us is our guest, Dreamcast guy himself, Max. I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. It's pretty good, man. Happy to have you on. I've been watching you a little bit thanks to our friend Spawnwave, a mutual friend of ours. So that's been fun. Love the way you narrate your videos too. So that's always classic.
Thank you. I feel like the number one question I get when I meet fans is that your real voice? And it's like, unfortunately, yeah. I'm glad it doesn't annoy my girlfriend, but yeah, that's how I talk.
That's how you talk, and it's just like that is actually your Darth Vader PSP. So
yes, it is. Yes, I think I actually sit. Yeah, it's sitting right next to me. Actually, this is because I mess with it all the time. So whoa,
Beautiful.
It's
It is.
beautiful.
Oh
That's a
god.
10 out of 10 right there.
Oh,
But yes.
it's beautiful indeed.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
man. Hell yeah.
Oh snap! You two are going to get along just fine throughout
The
this podcast. I
dueling.
can sense it. I can sense it in the force. But I'm your host, Joey Ferris, and joining me as always is Chris Del Castillo.
How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good. And Kyle Campbell.
Hello.
And Alan will be joining us later. He's on his way back from work. But the best thing about now we're recording these on Google Hangouts. No longer re-recording them separately through Audacity because it's just a pain in the ass to edit. And Google
That we don't have to wait a week for them to go up, huh, Joey?
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what's funny? I still waited like 3 days to upload that last one. So, but you know, whatever. It happens. It's fine, guys. But yes, we're going to continue our E3 prediction series with Nintendo. But first, we have to start off the show on a little sad note by saying that fellow YouTuber John Bain, also known as Total Biscuit, has unfortunately passed away earlier last week from cancer. I remember the day it was announced he had cancer, and that was 4 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was expected to live for about 2 years, and he's lived 4 since then. So yeah, he was an outlier, and he got to spend time with his family before that, and yeah, just a big loss from the YouTube gaming community. And though I've never watched his videos that much, like I've heard nothing but good things about him, essentially. Yeah.
It was great. I was a huge fan of his work for many years. Watched all of his podcasts, all of his WTFs. But it's one of those things where, as weird as it is, I became much more inspired by him, unfortunately, with his diagnosis, because Total Biscuit was just so dedicated to beating it. Watching a person who was just so strong professionally and personally was so crazy. A lot of people don't know this, but he purposely took every single experimental cancer treatment they offered him, knowing that a lot of them were probably not going to help that much, lots of invasive surgeries and stuff, just to try and advance the science. He donated a lot of his own money to the science as well, just trying to make sure that anybody else who happens to get that same terrible affliction in the future will not suffer as horribly as he did. So it was a bad death for a good man.
Yeah, really. You guys have anything else to say?
Man, it's just insane because, you know, my grandma, my aunt had cancer. One of my coworkers had cervical cancer, and it's just insane to see how they suffer and everything. I know there's so many different types of treatments, and it's expensive. Most people can't even afford them. So let's say with like my grandma, she was 80. Most of those weren't even going to work for her. So she had to go with more, what's the word I want to look for? Natural. And she was expected to live like 6 months because she had lung cancer. But she ended up living for an extra 2 years. But yeah, with Total Biscuit, it's sad when somebody goes. It doesn't matter who you are. But what's actually really cool with him is his YouTube channel's still around. He actually gave it to his wife.
Yeah, because that makes a lot of money for their family. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's as long as everything goes fine, the community still wants to support her. The family will be fine, which is nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Kyle, do you have anything to say?
Well, and I think that's with what you touched on at the very end. I think that is a huge thing that everybody wants to think about and talk about is how's the family going to be, and that's a really good thing that there's hope there for that family. It's not like the job was lost and the family has no hope to have a secure home or living. And so that's a huge blessing of itself. I, like many others, have had several family members diagnosed with cancer. I actually just lost my grandmother to cancer last year. And so that, definitely hit close to home to me. And with what Dreamcast guy was saying about how he was so dedicated to advancing the science, that is an honor to have someone like that on the YouTube gaming community, to say there was someone that good of a person. Because honestly, like, I can't say I could do that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so just that good of a person to be here is just inspirational.
Yeah. I remember during his diagnosis, he was saying that he found like a really bad sign that he probably did have cancer, but he never like saw a doctor about it because he was embarrassed about it. And he basically told everyone to, like, if anything like that happens, you have to just swallow your pride and go see a doctor. Like, seriously, it's not worth the pain, essentially.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's what I'll get checked up constantly, guys.
Well,
like,
and just I would say, like, doctors hear everything. They don't laugh. They're totally fine. By accident in 2011, I somehow ate glass. I was in some fast food I ate, and I accidentally consumed glass, which had some very embarrassing side effects. And I eventually had to go to a doctor and be like, "Hello, yes, like I badly need your help." And the doctor didn't lie. It was honestly one of the most pleasant hospital experiences I've ever had, because everybody was so cool. They ended up doping me up and helping me out. And it's one of those things where it's like, doctors want to help you. And usually the weirder your situation is, the more they're happy to help you. So don't be embarrassed. If you have any symptoms, talk to somebody.
Exactly. Yeah, I need to get a checkup, actually, because I'm afraid like something's wrong with me. But you know, it's a thing that happens. Actually, I had a story to tell about that. But a friend of mine, James, he of the Life of Gaming podcast. I don't know if he does it anymore, but he was saying like he found signs when he went to get a checkup. He actually they found like pre-cancer within him. So he was very lucky because they were able to get it out of him with nothing. He had no cancer after that. So like that saved his life essentially. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, huge loss, Total Biscuit, and we wish the best for his family and friends in these very hard times. Yeah. How do we continue off of that? But I know Alan, he's not here right now, but I know this topic is very close to home. So when he does get here, I'll have him say a few words as well. He did write the article about John Bain, so I do want to give him some time to talk about that. But let's move on to talk about some games, guys. Resident Evil 7 Cloud Edition is a thing that happened. It's like, hey, we want Resident Evil 7 for the Switch, but there's a small catch. Good old Capcom. So, Chris, tell us what happened.
Oh, well, we actually have somebody who's played it over here too, but you know, cloud gaming is very popular in Japan. They do it quite often. I know they did it with Phantasy Star, Phantasy Star 2, which never is coming out to America apparently. But you could play it on the cloud. Over there, it's free. Unlike Resident Evil, where how much was it, Joey?
What is it like?
It's $18 technically.
Yeah,
so
$18 for 180 days. For 180
days. So wow,
that sounds like a horror game in and of itself.
Yes.
I mean,
the only thing scarier than the game is its pricing.
I mean, $18 isn't bad to play that if you've never touched it and if you want to try it on the Switch. But at the same time, I've heard it's not that good, only because it has some issues. Here, if you want to play in North America, right, Dreamcast guy?
Yes, very much so. It's interesting. It is a full remake. I know some people are kind of concerned that this would just be one of those weird things where you're basically streaming a bad Steam version of it. It is definitely a redone version of it. There's button prompts that are actually in Japanese for the Switch, so it has full button support. It actually has motion controls, but I couldn't figure out how to work them, probably because I didn't get to the gun yet. So I assume that there's probably going to be gun aiming in the exact same way of the VR support was very, very integrated in just tilting your head. It definitely had like programming for gyroscopic controls, so it seems like that's probably going to be in the Joy-Cons. But the biggest issue is there was a big delay on everything you do. Like, so I have my Switch right here. If I was trying to look to the left, when I tapped to the left, you'd have a full like third of a second delay before the command took place, which would make it obviously quite unplayable in any sort of quick aim situation, which that game has a lot of.
Exactly.
So it's a PlayStation Now kind of issue.
Yeah, man, I do not like play. I bought a subscription to PlayStation Now just so I could actually check it out with an open mind, and man, the controls work well, but for the most part, but definitely the visuals were so bad. It has that same I call it like the rectangles of death, where like anytime cloud effects and stuff, it breaks it down into like a bunch of millions of rectangles. It looks weird. There was that real badly. In the opening of Resident Evil 7, you're going through a forest, and there's all these like trees that are trying to majestically blow, and on my screen it looked like pixels trying to punch each other.
Oh my god. I remember trying out PlayStation Now also with the Sly Cooper HD remaster or something. I don't know. There wasn't really much then when it came out. And I was just thinking, I didn't really have a problem with playing the game, but the visuals, of course, were just so grainy and awful. I'm like, this is not good, guy at PlayStation. What you doing? Like, just give us your version of Game Pass and call it a day. Like, seriously, guys. But yeah, cloud gaming, and but like Chris said, cloud gaming in Japan's is much more approachable because their Wi-Fi.
It comes down, it comes down to the infrastructure. You know, depending if you hit a patch of where you don't get any data, then everything's gonna look massively grainy. Other than that, when you have good internet, like for us, if you're playing at nighttime, there's no, like, let's say around 2 in the morning, there's nobody really on PlayStation Now. So then everything's perfectly fine. You play it during the day, well, you'll get your triangles of death.
Exactly. I saw a video of the cloud version being played in Japan by some British guy. I forget what it was, but it was kind of, I wouldn't say it was flawless, but it was like 99% playable there.
You can see what you can when you're watching it, because I believe I saw the same video. You can see why they're able to market that and it be successful over there because it works fairly well.
Yeah, it really does. Man, I want to move to Japan for their Wi-Fi speeds, but literally nothing else.
Because it's free?
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, another bit of news: Killer 7 was Killer 7 remaster, has been announced as of yesterday, as of recording this, by Suda51 himself, and it's only coming to Steam though. So far,
right now, it's only coming to Steam, and it's going to be released by NIS America. So chances are we'll see it come to another system. Because
of course,
yeah, I've got my own stories with NIS America and Steam, but that's probably going to be for another time.
Okay, and they're very tragic stories. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Killer 7. It's not that graphically impressive at all. It was a GameCube game, but who knows what kind of touching up they'll do for the remaster? You never know. I know I've never played it myself, so now I'll be able to on Steam. I still need to catch up on No More Heroes.
Yes, you do.
Same.
Another bit of news. What is it? I'm just scrolling through the news feed on our page just because trying to fill some time before Alan gets here because I want to kind of wait for him to start predictions. Wolf Among Us Season 2! What? That's happening. What were you saying?
I was going to say Killer 7 is super weird. I'm glad it's coming back. Even if it doesn't come to consoles, I'm glad more people are going to play it. It's super bizarre. That's the game where you're an assassin with 7 different personalities, and depending on the level, you get stuck as a different assassin. That's really good, really weird. So it's one of those games where it's like, I'm sure that didn't sell well initially, so it's smart of them to bring it out again.
That sounds way ahead of its time. So I see it doing way better now than before.
Suda51 brings out those weird titles that everybody either loves or hates.
Of course, because he's a crazy man, that guy. That's Suda. That Goichi Suda.
Yeah, I mean, I personally missed out on it too, but doing my research on it after the announcement, I'm pretty actually intrigued, very excited to try it out.
Yeah, because I was too young when it came out on the GameCube to play it, so there's that. I was also just like, where's my Marios and my Sonics, Nintendo GameCube? Just give me those and we'll call it a day. Also, kind of a big, huge announcement. Battlefield 5 has been confirmed. We knew it was coming, but it's going to be set in World War II. There's the stories they're going to be telling, like the war stories in Battlefield 1. They're going to be telling stories that haven't really been told about World War II. It's not going to be like the beaches of Normandy again. Oh, here we go. We're going to Nagasaki again, guys. What's going on? It's more going to be like the Arctic Circle of near Norway and maybe some stories in Africa, I believe. And that is also, that's kind of intriguing me because right now I'm playing Call of Duty World War II for the first time. It was on sale at Best Buy. Thanks, Kyle, for letting me use your Gamers Club Unlocked.
You're welcome.
Screw you, Best Buy, for canceling Gamers Club Unlocked.
Just know, anybody that wants to abuse that membership or my membership, you are more than welcome.
Seriously, he's got 21 months of good discounts.
I just signed up. Yeah, I just signed up, and then like a week ago, I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know why everyone doesn't do this." And then the guy at Best Buy was like, "Well, it's gone now." So yeah, I'm pretty fortunate.
Such ass that membership getting canceled. But yeah, I'm playing Call of Duty World War II right now, mostly the campaign because I'm not good at multiplayer, and I'm thinking this is pretty decent. I mean, it's better than most Call of Duty campaigns in recent memory, but
yeah,
I really want to see a different story. Like, how many times have we been to Normandy? How many times have we been to just Europe in general? Let's take us somewhere different.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if you're going to be at EA Play, it's going to be actually playable over there.
Yeah.
So,
if their lines aren't ass like last year.
oh yeah, but I mean, you guys should have gotten the emails if you wanted to sign up to play any of the games. They let you sign up for one game. I know I chose Anthem, and Alan chose Battlefield 5.
This is the anthem. Throw your hands up. That's all I'm gonna think of with that game, I swear. But I'm sending Alan the link again right now because I'm wondering where he is. Where's my boyfriend? Where are you at, Alan? Chris was wondering the same thing. We both Facebook messaged him. Yeah. What was that, Kyle?
I was just kind of blown away that you called him your boyfriend, but it's okay.
There's a lot of jealousy
on the podcast.
Podcast drama. I sent him the link again, but I think we should.
I definitely want to see more about Battlefield 5 specifically because I can't get away from the girl's arm. Are they going with the steampunk kind of aesthetic to it as well, or did they kind of?
That's a real thing that exists. I've actually, people have been showing historical documents. There's actually, what's interesting is there's actual like documented photos of Japanese soldiers, like female Japanese soldiers who are missing limbs, and they basically just give them prosthetic arms, and there's just literally like they have one good arm that can pull the trigger, and they're using their prosthetic arm to aim it. So it's like
cool.
There's even a shot of a kendo training school for people who lost limbs in the war. And so it's literally people learning to sword fight in order to like practice with prosthetic limbs. So it's like, it exists, but it is basically two big harnesses. There's like a harness that mounts it to your torso. And then basically a giant, like it's very primitive, which is why it looks so weird. And I know people are like, what is this? But that's actually historically accurate. It's just really weird looking by modern like, standards. Yeah, it's just so many gears and stuff that shifts down. It's like, I assume you would have to practice for years to have any functionality.
Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of controversy from like all of that situation, which I choose to just kind of ignore because it's a Battlefield game. And if it wasn't realistic, I don't really care because Battlefield has never really been realistic.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I just thought it would be interesting to find out like why that's there. But I'm glad you had that perspective too because I had no idea about that.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is because, dude, I'm super hyped for Battlefield 5. It looks intense. I love World War II games, but I thought it was funny that nobody can play. Like, I loved Battlefield 1. I thought it was awesome, but it's kind of funny that they basically like. There was like one automatic machine gun that existed in this time period, and they basically just made that the main thing for every single person in the multiplayer. It was like, okay, so we're not going to complain about the accuracy of them mass producing a gun 40 years early. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, the Battlefield 1 kind of just annoyed me. I didn't really like that game too much. I understand I'm in the minority on that, but man, my review of that game has so many dislikes, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I just don't like it. But the problem with the campaign for me was there were so many lone wolf missions. Like, what?
I loved that. The one where you park your tank for some reason and start sneaking through fog, stabbing people. It's
that was such bullshit. It makes no fucking sense at all. But I think what annoyed me most was just like when I liked that airplane mission though, the one where you play as Paul Rudd. He's not really Paul Rudd, but he just reminds me of Paul Rudd. But like all of a sudden he crashes.
Man was in this movie.
Here's another stealth mission. I'm like, come on, guys. And then there's a dude with a freaking, he's the Juggernaut, essentially. Yep. He's an Italian Juggernaut. And I'm like, that's not accurate either. But you know what? It's so hard to make an accurate it's barely even been attempted trying to make a World War I game. So they had to take some creative liberties. It's not like they're going to make a realistic World War I game. That'd be super boring.
Yeah, people don't realize most of that war was literally sitting around. But the amount of people that died just sitting in the trenches with like wound rot is way higher than the amount of people who got blown up.
Exactly. Yeah, it would have been a boring game otherwise. But you know, I'm more excited for Battlefield 5. But they're saying like, okay, there's going to be no premium pass, which I believe I believe that part. But they also said there's not going to be any loot boxes, and I'm like, nope, I don't believe you. I don't fucking believe you.
I did more research. There will not be loot boxes. There will be paid microtransactions for skins. But I actually will give them a half tip of my hat because I'm glad that they're not doing loot boxes. It's cool that it's like, okay, if you want to get a weed skin for your machine gun, you just pay 99 cents instead of paying.
That better be $4.20. I will quit the game if that's not $4.20.
Exactly.
I will chuck that disc out my window, and if it's a digital copy, I'll just chuck my console out the window. Like, but no, if that is the case, like, I remember thinking that about Battlefront 2. Like, okay, there's not going to be a season pass. That's cool. And then they freaking like raked us with loot boxes, and I'm just like, no thanks.
Yep.
So I'm still holding out like skepticism because it's EA, and you know how I feel about EA if you've been listening to this podcast for a while. But you know,
if you've ever heard him breathe, you know how he feels about EA.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they stick to that because I'm kind of excited for Battlefield 5. And you know what? I bought Titanfall 2 because literally just because they said like it's not going to have a season pass or anything. And Titanfall 2 was an amazing game, so of course nobody bought it.
with all free DLC, all the DLC in that game forever is free.
Yeah, you rarely see that from EA these days. But you know, if they're continuing that trend with Battlefield 5, then I'll gladly pay money for that game just to tell them this is okay.
It's just going to be for now. It's just going to be for now because even their CEO said it's something like loot boxes, the way they're doing things, is something that they plan on continuing. Unfortunately.
Oh, what's this? Alan's in the chat? What the fuck, Alan? Like, this guy, Curly Supreme, he's like, hey, I really wanted to be good. Well, why aren't you in the video, Alan? Okay, whatever. Should we start the Nintendo predictions without him?
He can write it in the chat if he's just going to be there.
Exactly. Oh, no. Damon's here. Damn it, Damon. Get out of here. We don't want your ass. We have a bet. Damon and I have a bet going on. See? And, of course, Alan's eating. You know what, Alan? You can eat on the podcast. I won't mind this one time. This one time I will not mind.
Actually, I think I'll get a kick out of that, so yes.
Hey, look. He joined the video call. How you doing, buddy?
Hey. Hold on, and accidentally end the call. There we go. Look at that.
There we go.
Finally.
Army.
Screw up, Damon. He doesn't even know who Damon is.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Brought him over from the Super Troopers, so yeah.
What did I miss? How's everybody going?
Everybody's going good, man. You sound a little quiet, though. You think you can try and fix that?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Sí, senor.
Okay, so here's the deal. Damon and I have a bet going on right now. He thinks that Super Smash Bros. Switch will launch in September and Pokemon in November. And I'm like, you are full of shit, sir. And I don't give a crap about when Pokemon comes out, but I'm telling you, Smash is coming out either late October or in November. It's not going to be September. Like, keep dreaming, dude. What do you think?
Yeah.
Who are you asking right now?
I'm asking anybody.
I think you're right. I don't think we can expect it till October. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised though if it is earlier because we really don't know how long they have been working on this. Have they been working on this since they pretty much stopped DLC on the Wii U version? Who knows? You know. So I think it's probable for October. I wouldn't be surprised if it's earlier though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to agree with Damon. And I think it's actually going to come out around September because if they are doing Pokemon, that's going to be in a October-November title.
What do you think, Max?
I definitely think it's going to be Smash Brothers in September. And the reason why is because they need something to sell that online service. Even as somebody who's pretty interested in the idea of the online service and is absolutely addicted to Splatoon 2, I am seeing some negativity in the Nintendo fan base about the idea of this thing that's been free and has not had a lot of special features, and now it's coming out, and it still doesn't really have that many special features, but now you got to pay for it. I think you got to just basically drop Smash day one with really good support for online and be like, look, like you're paying for server upkeep. You're paying for this stuff. It's an experience that only costs you two $10 bills. It's worth it. So I definitely think of it.
So Max, what do you think about maybe a surprise announcement for a game people want? In my mind, I think of Fortnite. If that were to be a surprise announcement at E3 and then get dropped, and that's launching day and date with our online service. Do you think that's probable at all?
No. I mean, I would say it's possible. Nothing's outside the possibility. From all the ears on the ground I've tried to listen for, though, it does not seem like Fortnite coming to Switch. So I think what's happening is people inside of Epic Games are working their ass off to find a way to cobble this together in a way that'll be as close to every other console as possible, and it's just not quite there. And so until the alpha version internally works, they don't even want to talk dates. So they're so vehemently denying any sort of speculation with it. So I think that it's just like, I don't think it's going to be done in 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. I think it's going to be something that probably comes out November, maybe.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I think that is something that they'll probably try, and if we may see a teaser for it. We at E3 we may get like a trailer that just shows like somebody picking up a gold scar and being like, later this year.
It has the Triforce emblem upgraded on it.
Or Mario hat.
I do think they're going to do something like that. I do think they're going to put some Mario stuff in there.
Yeah,
you're still a little quiet, Mr. James.
I'm using the mic. Unfortunately, the snowball doesn't work. But I do think that Fortnite, with its really good optimization, probably what he said, it's probably going to be at the end of the year. Like eShop cards are going to sell like hotcakes if that game comes out at the end of the year. It's going to be nuts.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have friends who play Fortnite on PC and stuff, and even they're like, "Dude, I'd fucking play Fortnite on Switch. Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. You tell me I could go to my local Starbucks and just sit there for like 2 or 3 hours at a session. I'd love that.
Oh yeah, well, and I've had tremendous success with very good online experiences going off the hotspot off my phone, and I want to see it with a shooter if that's gonna. I've had pretty good success with Splatoon, but I have had dropped games on my hotspot. But like Mario Kart. Has been like I've never have a problem. So I really want to see a game like Fortnite if it would be able to live off of my phone hotspot, because I can imagine myself waiting for class to start, just playing Fortnite. Heck, why not? You know.
Mm-hmm. There's that game though. There's also Murphy's, or was it Murphy's Law or something like that?
Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law.
We have not heard a thing about that in a while. And I remember a lot of these games, like there was that one on 3DS that was a really good, like Gears of War type shooter that was really good. And it really
so good.
It showed off its like online features. Maybe they're holding it off for maybe the online features for this for at least probably winter or something. I'd hope. That's what I hope.
I think that game's dead and gone at this point. I don't think it's what was it called, like Iron something? Yeah, but I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, I don't think we can.
That was a good one. A lot of people, I think, if I remember correctly, that was used for homebrew.
Yeah, so that's why they took the game away, I think, as well. But other than that, the thing is, I don't think Nintendo's smart enough to launch Nintendo Switch Online and Smash in the same day. And yeah, I said that.
It's an important decision because there's not enough real games to like make you want to get the online service immediately. It's like, oh, so you're telling me that I can't play Mario Tennis or Mario Kart or Splatoon without paying $5? I've had enough of it already. I played 1.5 years of it already. You know, a lot of people would be in that mindset. At least for a minute, until they see, oh, wait, you're telling me that you're going to have more of this and maybe another one of the online games and Smash day one? Sold, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Agree.
Because I heard when you guys say September, and I was like, oh my God, it's a month sooner than I thought. I would love that.
Yeah, I still don't see it happening. But, you know, we'll find out come
in
E3.
2 weeks.
Well,
yeah,
I think
they might not even give us a release date then. Who knows? But, you know, I think they
honestly think that some of the features could be high sellers for it too, selling points for it too. Especially if they're going to give us more information on these downloadable titles as we come closer and what their online functionality will be. I know myself, if they were to announce like, hey, we are actually going to incorporate SNES games, maybe if they're not at launch, but I know that alone would be like, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Just tease us out. Yeah, that's you're 1,000,000% nailed my idea too, or my thing as well, which is just like if you even mention other things you're working on, that would keep me going. I'd probably even pay for it up front if it's just like, okay, like this isn't here yet, but we're working on like a Netflixy style thing for old Nintendo stuff. We're going to call it the Nintendo Vault because we're just going to shove all your money into it. That'll be ready. That'll get us invested at least.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before I move on, Alan, you showed up late, so I would like to hear your little goodbye message to Total Biscuit, because we all went around the table to talk a little bit about him and his life and his passing.
And keep it under an hour, Alan.
Oh, come on, guys. I was going to cry in the third half, you know. Total Biscuit was a really good guy. He was good. good opinion maker. He had a lot of really good videos. Like a lot of good series. He was a part of the co-optional podcast, which I actually really love the art style too, and it actually helped like inspire a lot of the art that I did now, which is great. And then I think honestly, it's a really good podcast in general. Just like people should look at it and be like, this is kind of like how we should do things like that. And he just basically was a really good pioneer. He was a pioneer for a lot of people.
That he was. He will be missed. Yes. Thank you for everything, Total Biscuit, and good luck to his wife. I forget her name. To continue. What was that?
Gina Bain, and then his kid is Tobias. I think
Tobias is such a badass name, dude. I love that name.
He's up there criticizing StarCraft 2 in heaven.
Well, yeah, and you know, he always, in all of his videos, he always complained about bad FOV sliders, about being able to expand the field of view. And on one of his memorials, the top comment, and I really liked it, it said, "In heaven, he's finally going to get that 360 field of view." And he would have loved that joke. That's why it gets me.
Such a good
Oh my god. Yeah, really. That's great. But yeah, we're gonna start talking about our Nintendo predictions finally. This is always my favorite episode, just because huge Nintendo fanboy here. We're all big Nintendo fans here. Let's be honest. It's a company we all grew up on, and some of us were born into it because we're so young here. But
Reggie gave birth to me. That's the story of my life.
Damn, son.
I'm forever grateful.
Forever grateful. But before we get to that, we're going to talk about the games we already know about and the stuff that should be seen at the show. Starting with Fire Emblem Switch, which, where the hell is it? It's coming out this year. Are they finally going to show us the game, or are they going to also say, "Oh, by the way, it's delayed"? Like, I don't know if this game is going to come out this year. What, Chris?
I know you're saying no. Hopefully, it's not delayed. I
thought they were trying to interject. They're like,
Yeah, well, if it is delayed, they're not going to announce that at E3. That's for sure. They don't want any negative press whatsoever.
Didn't they do the Xenoblade 2 though? Like right before they announced the December release date, and then they were like, "Hey, you haven't seen it in a while, but here's Xenoblade 2, also December." Like I've been saying that for the last few directs or last two videos that we've had. I'm dead sure that like Fire Emblem should be a December release, because then you've got October Smash, which I originally thought, November Pokemon,
that is a Fire
December
Emblem
Fire Emblem.
Smash Bros is a Fire Emblem game.
Caught me on a technicality there. I'm just
gonna Roman Reigns get out of there. I don't know wrestling references, but whatever.
They blew me out the building.
But yeah, this is very interesting. This game was announced before the Switch came out in the Fire Emblem Direct. It said release date 2018, and we still haven't seen anything about it, but pretty sure E3 is going to be the icebreaker for this game. What do we even expect from this? Like, this is going to be the first home console Fire Emblem game. Like, yes, the Switch is a home console, guys. It's also a home console and a handheld. It's pretty cool, right? But this is going to be the first home console Fire Emblem game since Radiant Dawn on the Wii, I believe. Why do Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn have to have like the same word in it? But but yeah, do you think it's going to have like a different art style? It's not going to have a different art style, that's for sure. The Weeaboo anime style saved them. Let's be honest. But I just want to know what it's going to look like in game.
I think it's going to follow directly in the footsteps of stuff like Path of Radiance, which is like, I think something that helped them a lot with Fire Emblem Awakening was having tons of different styles of difficulty mode, all the way down to like baby difficulty, and every enemy gets one shot, all the way up to somebody sneezes on your character, they're dead forever, and it deletes your save file. So I think they're probably going to do that again, because it worked so well, and make it where like Fire Emblem Switch becomes the Fire Emblem you have to buy, because it worked so well with Awakening. And I know I've heard some more of the more hardcore fans hate on Awakening because it does have some casual options, but it made it more approachable. So I think they're definitely going to do that again, which is like, it's Fire Emblem, but with also this stuff.
Exactly. If it wasn't for Awakening, like for all that baby stuff, the series would be dead right now.
I 100% agree with you. Yep.
And I don't see an easier difficulty ever preventing someone from buying a game. You know, as long as they have the harder difficulty they want and crave on there, then we're set.
Exactly. Like, oh darn, your damn niche game is more approachable.
Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Especially because they named it so well. They wasn't easy, medium, and hard. I think they called it like classic, original, and like new. They called it like things that sounded like everybody sounded the same. So nobody ever in the Fire Emblem community ever sounded like a jerk. They're like, oh, what kind of good gameplay are you doing right now? It was never like, oh, you playing on fucking easy.
Classic. What are you?
But General,
Yeah, I didn't hear you. You're so quiet, Alan.
I'm trying to be louder.
That's
That's
better.
a goal in life. That's a resolution.
Lustrous
Get
David.
louder.
Speaking of resolution, your webcam's a solid 240p, my friend.
Oh, I gotta fix that then. I guess I don't know how to fix that really. Like,
It's just Google. It's just Google Hangouts. Like, don't
that
worry
breaks
about
my
it.
heart. This is a good webcam.
Yes. Another game was talked about, Yoshi, which got a gameplay trailer last year. Haven't seen it since, and that's a curious game because it's being developed in Unreal Engine by
I'm
Nintendo
starting to get
themselves.
convinced that this is more and more like they decided to change it since the last time you saw it. So now it's Yoshi's Cookie 2.
Yoshi's
I
good.
would-
God.
I would die. Of
Online
happiness.
features would be up the wazoo.
Oh my
Think
god!
about it. Think of
But no, man, Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U was hype. It was amazing. That game was just like,
Yeah.
it was great. And there was those fake E3 lists where it's just like, do not share with anybody those things. I am so convinced that a couple of those lists got the name of that Yoshi game right. Like Yoshi Flipped Around or Yoshi's Flipping Island or something.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Flipping
Oreo
Around.
Army in our chat said flipped around too. So I mean, it's definitely a popular one. That one.
Exactly. What were you saying next?
Dippy. Yoshi's Flippy Dippy.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's gonna have flip in the title, guaranteed.
Yoshi's Woolly Wonky.
If it's Yoshi's Woolly World 2, I'm just gonna give up all hope on planet Earth.
I just love that. Like they've done it for so long now. I don't think Yoshi could ever go back to not this like storybook, cartoony yarn style. Even going back to 64, I was playing Yoshi's Story, and I was like, wow, this does have that woolly yarn style to it as well.
Except for that theme song that you'll never get out of your head if you ever hear it.
Oh, now it's in my head. Why would you do this? I was sitting here being like, I don't know what they're talking about.
It's eating me alive.
They're gonna be a zombie mode, is what you're saying, with eating alive. Okay, gotcha.
Wait, Yoshi Battle Royale? Who said that?
Confirmed. Day with online service.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay.
the Fortnite tie-in, isn't it?
Yes, I've been saying I want a Splatoon Battle Royale. I love Splatoon 2 a lot, and I would love a thing where Inklings drop on there. You don't know who your teammates are going to be. You drop down, you end up with a random splatter, and you set to play, and last splat standing wins.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And
Battle Royale. Oh my god.
Exactly. See,
Oh,
it sells
there you go.
itself.
God,
That's cool. Yeah, and I can see that definitely working on its way even to the next Splatoon if it doesn't happen for like a DLC for this Splatoon. Just because I think Battle Royale is going the way of being another mode for multiplayer shooters. At first, it's kind of been a meme with like, oh, this game's getting a Battle Royale, this game's getting a Battle Royale, but eventually, like, Halo's going to have a Battle Royale, Gears of War, Splatoon, like these other shooters that we like are going to have a Battle Royale because it's just that popular. It's like capture the flag at that point. It's just another mode you get on your shooter.
Yeah.
But do you guys feel that Battle Royale is something that'll be around for a while, or just kind of like a flavor of the month kind of thing?
I don't think
that's
it'll
Feel like
die.
you're down the line.
I think it's always going to be around, even if it's just not as popular.
I don't know.
I think it's this generation's horde mode. We're going to see it for 5 years total. Like when Gears of War 2 invented horde mode, everybody from Halo to freaking Killzone had to try and replicate it in some way. And so you still see it occasionally, but 99% of people have left behind. So it really kind of blew up last year. I think we're going to see it this year, next year, and probably the year after. And then after that, people are just not going to, because something a lot of people don't realize is that Battle Royale is actually very difficult to program. Like designing the map is difficult, but actually having 100 people on a map, all communicating flawlessly with the server, with your gear, your health, your shields, every single piece of it, like that's very difficult to optimize. So I feel like a lot of games after a while, they're like, look, man, we could build an entire single player. We're just going to build that over here.
Remember, guys, sign that Mag 2 petition. If you want week.
Oh, what a trash heap
for that one.
So bad. But next game on the list, I'm hyped about this. Metroid Prime 4. You didn't see my reaction video. Look it up. Commonwealth Realm. My Metroid Prime 4 reaction.
Featured on German television. Let's just remember this. It was featured on German television, and the look on Joey's face when I showed him that was the best.
It wasn't. I don't think it was German television, maybe, but it was definitely big German.
It was news anchors talking about video games or electronics, and then they mentioned it, and then they showed reactions to Metroid 2.
Metroid 2?
No, Metroid Prime 2. My bad.
Metroid Prime 2?
4. My bad. Okay.
It's been a while.
We're back in the GameCube era.
Joey, were you like 10?
It was. Actually, I was 9. Actually, when Metroid Prime 2.
German.
But so fucking hyped for Metroid Prime 4. That's what I'm going into E3 for. Like, fuck yes, please.
Just worried.
Show me a cinematic trailer. Just give me anything more. Like, you don't even need to show me, like, it doesn't need to come out this year. It doesn't need to be playable on the show floor, which it won't be. Those two things are not going to happen. This is a 2019 game, guaranteed.
Joey, it'll be a December title.
No thanks.
Okay, so, guys, so we're all pretty much staying at the Airbnb together while we're at Los Angeles for E3. But one thing I've been worrying about, I've been dreading since like we've gotten the spot is, oh my God, Joey's gonna yell so loud the neighbors are gonna call us, report us, and we're gonna get kicked out of the Airbnb.
Good.
I feel it. Joey's gonna do it, and he's just gonna tweet one thing: worth it.
Oh my God! You know what's gonna happen too. It's just like all I really want this year is like they could show me just maybe a smidge more gameplay. Perhaps I feel like it's possible. They showed gameplay for Yoshi last year. Haven't seen it since, and it's coming out this year. It could be possible, but I'm not holding my breath for that. I'm just hoping whatever trailer they show us, cinematic or not, ends with 2019, and then relive the trilogy in HD on the Nintendo Switch.
Do you think that's going to be one of those titles that comes out immediately after the Direct?
No. This is they're going to treat this like it's a Twilight Princess HD and Waker HD release.
All right.
I think
I don't know because it was on the
first
Wii
one.
for $20.
Is the first one going to be physical and the other two digital downloads?
Yeah, probably.
That'd be interesting.
It's going to have that ugly bar on top and everything.
I hate that ugly bar. I know exactly what you're talking about. That shit's annoying.
I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4 as a concept, but my thing is I just need to see it. Like it's I'm replaying through Metroid Fusion right now, and recently I went back to the original Metroid Prime, and both of those are such good games. But it's one of the things of like, if I don't have even a scrap of gameplay to see, I can't get excited for ideas anymore. Like so many games like Scalebound, what a magnificent idea that will never exist. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, I need to see, even if you, like you said, if it's just a story trailer, give me a taste test as to what this will theoretically be in a couple years.
I just need to see if I just need to make sure this game exists beyond a PNG version of the logo.
Yeah, right.
You know that was a PNG file too, because it's transparent background. Of course. But they're also what's the subtitle going to be? It's going to be something stupid and cliche like Metroid Prime 4 Resurrection or some shit. And
that's Metroid Prime 4 Other M2.
Fuck you, Chris.
Metroid Prime 4 Federation Forces Deluxe.
Oh man, it just says Federation Forces Canon will be the subheader of it.
I was just thinking, if it's Metroid Prime 4 Resurrection, it's literally just plays an MP4 file of Alien Resurrection the entire game. But I'm super excited for Metroid Prime 4. But after that, we also have Pokemon Switch. People are theorizing that there's going to be a trailer for the game this week, which I'm just like, don't know. How to feel
There's
about that?
actually rumors that it's going to be tomorrow. I guess the official EV Go kind of like Twitter page tweeted out a Japanese screenshot of the game, and it said something about tomorrow, sleeping and tomorrow, but there's been like multiple translations of it, but sleeping and tomorrow are both in it.
It is, and so my translation of it basically breaks down to that we'll wake up tomorrow at 11:21. But so some people are thinking that means when the direct will be, or some people think that means November 21st. And that screenshot is from Heart Gold Soul Silver. So I definitely believe that is, if that's a real tweet, I definitely think that it's emphasizing that this is a remake. It's basically saying the next big remake.
That'd be beautiful.
For the
That would be
Switch?
beautiful.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's a bunch of Pokemon rumors going around, but I haven't read any of them because.
Well, so far, to catch you and anybody else who doesn't know, basically the Pokemon rumors are the game is supposed to be revealed sometime at the end of this month. Emily Rogers from Resetter also said, "Hey, it's still going to happen at the end of this month. The game is supposed to have implications or implementations of Pokemon Go, and then you're going to be able to feel like it's going to have some things from there, some things take away." And it's gonna have this. It's gonna be a Kanto remake, from what rumors are saying.
Yes.
Well, it won't be 11:21 because it's already 1:34 in Japan right now.
Well, there goes that. Yeah, I don't know. Really, like I can't predict that, honestly. Like, part of me wants to say that this is too far-fetched. Another part of me is just like, maybe it isn't. But I don't care too much about Pokemon to really think about that. But hopefully this new Pokemon Switch game gets me into this series.
Well, for me personally, I fell out of it just before Sun and Moon. So Black and White 2. No, X and Y, whatever. Well, I played all of those. But right before, I stopped playing them religiously right before Sun and Moon dropped. And I was hoping that I would get back into it this time around, but then the rumors started coming around with the Pokemon Go integration, and not that I absolutely hate that game, but I want that to stay where it's at. I don't want those mechanics to make its way over. And if they blow me away, I'll be optimistic about it. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, I was wrong. But as if it stands right now, if it continues on that Pokemon Go track of how we catch Pokemon or how the battle system, because I do not want to tap my Switch to battle, you know. So
I think whatever they're doing.
Perfect.
What'd you just fucking say, Alan?
Not the Go system. No. From like what I've seen on like Reddit posts and everything, like a lot of people brought up a lot of really good ideas, and one of them was like, "Hey, you're able to transfer your Pokemon from the game to Go, and it works just like the Pokewalker." And it's like that's a really nice idea.
That would be cool, and like how they integrated that with Heart and Gold or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like how they brought that out with the game if you bought it. So imagine if they gave you the Go Plus, the wristband with your purchase of the Switch, and that was in that, like maybe you put a Pokemon on Pokemon Go to like build up XP and stuff.
Yeah, I got also shout out to the comments. Kyle, when you said this may sound far-fetched, or maybe I said it, I don't remember who said it.
Far-fetched.
The comments got him down with that sick pun.
I'm really hoping this is a Kanto. When it comes to integration, some of the stuff I've been reading that I personally believe is possibly creating secondary modes where you can choose to walk around in the grass, maybe first person or something in the Switch version, and use the screen to actually do the special throws, like swirling to throw the ball and stuff.
Nice, yeah.
That way, stuff like that of like just changing up the way we play. That way, it doesn't just feel like Pokemon Yellow again. Because
just imagine using a Joy-Con and throwing your Joy-Con, throwing, but
I'll throw my Switch.
Motioning with your Joy-Con like you were throwing a Pokeball, and then like you release the R button as you want to let go. That would be really fun.
You're gonna need a wrist strap for that. Let me tell you. But
it's gonna ruin my brand new 4K TV that way.
But do we think it's coming out this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Because number one, the biggest thing, the people who have already seen it have said that it basically looks like a very upscaled 3DS game. It is not a full 3D crazy thing. If that's what people are hoping, it ain't that. This is a 3DS game repainted for the Switch.
That's kind of disappointing if that's true. I mean, a little.
Well, and that's what everyone was saying is all the good leaks I've read. Basically, the main thing that a lot of the leakers that have seen it, the gameplay have said is that people are going to be real divided when they show that first gameplay tease, because half the people are going to be like, "Hey, this is like a cool back to roots Pokemon," and the other half of the people are going to be like, "You're just literally putting Pokemon Yellow inside of Pokemon Moon and selling it again," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was really hoping when they announced a new Pokemon game, it'd be like XD or Coliseum, where it's that
Yeah.
action RPG.
I agree.
I was really hoping we'd get one of those, and then eventually, because I know 3DS is phasing out in the next year or so, then they can work on that. But for right now, since this is kind of like a home hybrid, they would have given us one more action RPG, because fans have been wanting that, or even a Pokemon Stadium. Heck,
Oh,
that would have
geez,
been
don't get me
awesome.
started on that.
Yeah, I
Crimson
wanted this.
Zexel in the chat knows how much I love that game.
Yeah, I wanted this Pokemon game to be as ambitious as something like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, just to Nintendo to keep that ambitious train going. But if this is the case, Pokemon Switch, it is going to be divisive. But not to say it's not going to be a disappointing game by any means. You know, just got to wait and see.
You'd be surprised how many people hate Kanto for some reason.
I know, dude. The Pokemon community is pissed about that rumor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Us filthy casuals just want to go back to our childhood, I guess.
Yeah, well, they mock people like me, the Pokemon community. They spell it all funny, but they call us Gen 1ers. Like, I just want to go back to Gen 1. It's like, look, Gen 1 was the best. You can eat it.
I'm just picturing in like the South Park fractured butthole whenever you leave the school and those rednecks come up like, oh, it's one of them filthy Gen 1ers. Let's get them, boys.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Grab your Pikachu, boy.
Why are you letting that walk behind you? You keep that son in a ball.
All these rednecks or not.
I heard you like Charizards.
Oh my god.
Okay. Next game, we have two more games to talk about before we get into our predictions. One of them is probably not even real, but it probably is. Smash Bros. Switch, gonna be the game of the show for Nintendo at least.
I don't think it's getting shown. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's probably
just playing.
Well, a lot of people are gonna pay attention to this unless Cyberpunk 2077 is gonna be there, and then that's probably gonna be a game of the show. But other than that, it's just like that game's gonna be massive.
There is one issue though with Smash.
What is the issue?
Well, the fact that you're only able to play one gameplay. That's going to disappoint a lot of people. Remember, they've announced that starting, I think, at the end of this month, they're going to send out messages to everybody going, and you're going to be able to apply for just one gameplay session.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a little bit disappointing because I remember when the Wii U version came out, I played that like 7 or 8 times throughout the whole show, maybe even more, because I just wanted to get my hands on it. With this, it kind of sucks because we know it's going to be the most popular, probably one of the most popular things in Nintendo, depending on what else they show or announce. And Alan's already feeling it. But it's going to be kind of disappointing for just like everybody who just wants to maybe just go to play that for like a day.
Oh, and Kyle, to answer your question, 20 more minutes.
Okay.
20 more minutes. It's okay. You don't need to message me privately. Like an asshole.
Just call him out on the stream. Like a big boy.
But yeah, we got places to be too. But
that hurts. So, that legitimately hurts if that's the case. I was ready to put on like multiple mustaches, shave my face a couple times, and get a couple more gameplays.
The reason why is you can thank E3 for fucking making this a public event. Like what?
Last
year was rough at the Nintendo booth.
We get 3 hours before the regular attendees get in.
Oh, really?
The first 2 days.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
It's like 2-3 hours, and then on Thursday, it's just all out same time.
They listen to us.
It's not like that matters, though.
After E3, they listen to us.
It's not gonna matter.
It'll make that Nintendo line a little easier if they were doing Zelda, but yeah, for Smash, it's going to be you have to reserve your spot.
Yeah. So
which makes you sad.
Yeah, we won't dwell on Smash for too long because we only have 20 more minutes.
We already know what Smash is. If you don't know
Smash is going to happen. Don't know how many stages we're going to see. It's interesting because this is going to be like the first time like Smash gameplay is going to debut at not really debut, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. Forget it.
Gameplay wise, yeah.
It's weird
that
a
happened with
game,
Smash
like,
4. But
Smash got announced and is going to be released the same year that, you know what I mean, within the same year.
How they're going to how they're going to release information during this E3 about that game is going to be interesting.
Well, that's not really going to be hard to do, really.
It's going to be pretty difficult.
So
what was that, Max?
I was going to say real quick, two super interesting things. What really kind of gets me the most interested is that there were the developer accidentally talked about it and said that he helped to build Smash, and he's a Bandai Namco employee, which means that Bandai Namco is definitely still on board for it. And the other thing is, I got a screenshot from Emily Rogers on her special Discord server saying that she's seen like the complete roster now for Smash Switch, and just said like it's going to be jaw-dropping start to finish. Like it's going to be like 100% attach rate. Like every single person who owns a Switch is going to own this game. They're going to have to. So
confirmed? No.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping for stuff like Snake to come back. I
was just talking about that today.
I think that's a really good way for him to live on.
But Konami doesn't care about us. Unless it's in a
but Nintendo does.
But yeah, they'll take 2% of those sales as royalty, though.
Really.
They're gonna say, okay, you can have Snake, but you got to put our pachinko game in your Switch.
Son of a
There has to be a level that you're inside. You're fighting inside a pachinko machine. That's
his
Survive integration.
Meanwhile, Sakurai is like, I was gonna do that anyway. You know he would. But this game is a rumor. You know, Alan knows where I'm going with this. What the fuck is Star Fox Grand Prix? And why do I not like it?
Event, boys. Let's
do a barrel roll.
Alan live for. We live for Star Fox. Why'd you have to bring this up right now?
This is why I brought in. This is part of the reason why I brought Dreamcast guy here in, because he is with me on this.
You
this
brought in a ringer.
Fucking stupid.
That's unfair, you son of a.
I'm here to use my years of YouTube super experience to tell you why Star Fox Grand Prix is a bad idea while also being a good game. My problem is it's not properly using this awesome IP. It is one of the greatest space games of all time because, yes, we've seen it as Star Fox Command, of course, the Star Fox plane shooters, we've had submarines, we've gotten all this stuff that could make it a good racer, but why? Like, that's like when they tried to make Sackboy into his own racing game with the crappy play. It's like, yeah, that's already good as Little Big Planet. We didn't need Little Big Planet karts. It's wasting the infinite potential of Fox McCloud and his epic team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got that. Hey, we got that with Jack and Dexter. Remember Jack X Racing?
Oh yeah.
But most importantly, we're also wasting the potential of retro studios.
Okay, Joey wants to get on this. Okay, Joey, you ready?
Yes.
Star Fox, favorite series. You know that. I play Star Fox 64 at least once a day. But seriously though, like I do think this is going to be a fun game, and I completely agree with them that this is going to be a fun game. Bad idea for retro, but at the same time, you can't be salty about a studio working so hard until you see the end result. You see the end result.
Well, and I've also seen some good sources that say that they had 3 projects going on simultaneously.
Yeah,
so
I heard that as well.
One is definitely Star Fox, and we realized the other one was the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze port. We don't know what that mystery third project is. The main thing is, weren't they hiring programmers for a space shooter at one point? So we don't know what that is, but it seems like it could be some new IP.
Well, what do you guys think if maybe I'm gonna take Star Fox Zero for example. You can insult me because I know not everybody loved it, but what if Star Fox Racing was an add-on game for a real Star Fox game?
That's what I'm hoping for. See, that's
what I said a few weeks ago. Before I wanted to roast Joey into oblivion.
Even if they were to take a route of saying, okay, like we want to experiment with this, we want to do the Star Fox Racing thing, but if they were to bring Star Fox Zero back in a port that didn't require motion controls and the second screen, it wouldn't be a bad game. Like the fundamental game itself was fine, and so I really want people to give it a second chance with how a Star Fox game is made to be.
Yeah, I completely agree. But the thing I don't like about it being a racing game specifically is that it takes this idea that like racing is always like it's like the best of levels. You see like other games that come off as like a spin-off racing game. It's always here's this level from this game, and this level from this game. Star Fox doesn't really have much to go with except for a few planets from each game. So it's like, how are you going to make these like, oh hey, it's it's Corneria. Oh hey, it's Sector 6 or something like that. It's like you got those, but you can't really build a new level in the new game without a like you can, but at the same time, it's not going to be as memorable because you didn't have time to build it up as it's this big.
Yeah.
You could have 2 stages per section, 1 land, 1 air. I'm just gonna throw that out for the hell of it.
Tanks.
Well, I was gonna say. So from what I've read, it basically started out as they built an entire alpha version of Diddy Kong Racing 2.
That's what I heard about, yeah.
Switch. And apparently they built stages that worked really well in air, sea, and ground, and then they just realized that it wasn't fresh enough, and so for some reason they decided to really hardcore pivot and turn it into Star Fox Grand Prix.
That's
so
a crazy pivot.
I know, right? It's one of those things. It's like, yeah, we were starting making Halo, and instead we just decided to make StarCraft 6. What the hell happened to StarCraft 3 through 5?
I mean, Forza Horizon 5 is coming out, and
yeah.
So was it 4 or 5? I don't remember.
It's so I'm excited for Grand Prix in a theoretical sense, but man, I'm still just really let down. I'm hoping. The main hope I have is that this game somehow sells like crazy and they go, okay, we can name things Star Fox and they'll move off store shelves again and they make a real Star Fox.
So I'm still seriously disappointed from Star Fox Zero. I just want to put that out there.
I give it a 4 out of 10 in my review. I was pissed.
Yeah.
But let's move on before we got 10 minutes left.
Right. And I just want to add, this is my final point on this topic as well, but I think that this has after Mario and Rabbids, I'd never want to sell a game short before it's officially shown off to us. Because that game, I love that game. I play that on a very regular basis, and when it was announced, I was like, "Oh, choose! I don't want that." Like
all of us were. All of us were.
Like, no, I was wants that. I don't want Mario and Rabbids together. What the heck? And now it blows everyone away. So I am cautiously optimistic as someone who is not as hardcore as Alan. I don't play Star Fox 64 daily, but I do have.
Neither does he.
I really do. I legitimately do. You want to test me on that?
But it's life. It's Bay. It's whatever you want to call it. But so I love the franchise, but that also I have to agree with Dreamcast guy there that it's just it's injustice to the franchise. A racing game doesn't live to the potential that Star Fox can be.
You sound a little hypocritical there, Kyle.
Well, that's why I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm very in the middle. Like I'm torn both ways. I feel this way, but I can also see myself when it gets announced, being like, okay, I was wrong.
I'm just saying, don't waste Retro's potential on a fucking racing game. Like seriously, like. But
have you seen them make a racing game before?
I have waited 4 years to see what they've been working on. If it's a racing game that's not genre defying, then I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah, but I think we should move on to the actual predictions here. So if this is your first time listening to the Game and Talk podcast, here is what the rules are. We come up with 3 predictions, each person. One that is most likely to happen, like 99% happening. One that is 50-50. It could happen, it could not happen. One is it's so impossible, but you want it to happen so badly that you would kill your best friend named James Allen Plummer to make it happen.
I know him.
But yeah, so let's get this started. Here's what the order is going to be. We always start with our guest. So Dreamcast guy is going to go first with his least likely prediction, and then we're going to go to Alan, Kyle, me, and then Chris.
I'm last this time.
Are we going most predicted, or are we going least possible?
We're going to most likely and then least likely. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So most likely, I think that they're going to come out, and I think a major focus of the entire conference and the entire Nintendo Direct is going to be focused on the giant chunk of roster of Super Smash Brothers. I think that they're going to try and sell it hard and try and show us that this isn't just another Smash, that this is basically like the definitive Smash, because I feel like the community is a little bit worried right now that it's just going to be Smash 4 remastered. I think they're going to try and really show that these are new characters with new balance on new stages.
Yes, I see what you mean there. So who was after Max?
I believe that's me. I
believe that is. But yeah, actually, let me dwell on that prediction for a second. Yeah, I do think a lot of that Direct is going to go towards characters newcomers characters rather.
I actually kind of really hope that I hope they do that, but at the same time they leave a couple out, so they do what they did when the Smash 4 came out, and they just like dropped them sporadically through like the weekend or during the week.
That's why I have to go to the website like every day to see who was coming.
Yeah, exactly. They did a little press conference, and they'd have like a little demo, and then like Sakurai would come out and be like, "Check this trailer out," and then somebody else comes out.
Yeah,
I loved it.
But at E3, they got announced Crash. Let's be honest. Crash is happening, whether you guys like it or not.
I hope. I hope I see a lot of mascots that really like you'd never think would happen, because they did that last year, and I was like blown away when Cloud came out.
Yes. So. Alan, what's your prediction? Most likely.
I'm really hoping to hear a lot on. I'm assuming we're going to hear a lot on the games that are MIA since they first announced them back at the Indie Direct back before even the Switch came out. There's a lot of games that still haven't had a release date or anything, close to one. Like, what was it? Pocket Rumble. You haven't heard from that in a while. You haven't heard from Morphe's Law. You haven't heard from a lot of these guys. So I'm just hoping
Hollow Knight.
Undertale, Hollow Knight, please.
Please give me Hollow Knight on Switch.
Just release dates. That's what I'm hoping. Release dates for indie games. I feel like they're going to definitely focus on that.
I think those will be more of a treehouse kind of thing. Yeah.
They're going to show off probably some Hollow Knight gameplay, I hope. And they're like, hey, guys, guess what? You can pick it up in July. And it's like, cool.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Kyle, what about you?
As far as my most, almost like 100% prediction, I think, I mean, not to cash in on what we were just talking about, but I think Star Fox Grand Prix will have a mode that in the racing mode that is very similar to the racing the Star Fox gameplay we know and love. So I don't think that's gone from the game, even if it is a Star Fox Grand Prix focused game, racing focused game, that it will still have elements and incorporation from this traditional Star Fox games.
I see. Cool. My prediction, my pretty safe prediction, is that, of course, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be there in some form. And if I had to place any bets, probably it's going to be in the form of a CGI trailer that either shows like what gameplay is, the concept of gameplay through a CGI trailer. Kind of like the first Dishonored 2 trailer wasn't gameplay, but they showed it in the first person.
Ooh, what if they show you an entire 4-minute trailer featuring cutscenes and gameplay though?
That I would just need a change of pants after that.
Like the first 5 minutes of the game.
The windows of the goddamn Airbnb we're staying in would.
God damn it, Joey! You just ruined my prediction. My prediction was you were gonna scream again. God
damn it! But and at least I just want to see what Samus's various suit looks like this time around. I hope it changes so very little from how it looked in Metroid Prime 3. I hope it looks like, because that design is just daddy. Yeah. Pretty
Actually,
cool. But Chris, what's your...
It's 2018. You got to call it Papa. Daddy doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, Papa. Papa. Papaya. Chris, what's your prediction?
Well, actually, my prediction, and it's something that I've heard through different sources, is we are going to see Fire Emblem Switch.
Of course.
We are going to get that, and we actually might have something playable.
Ooh. Okay.
So I might be looking forward to that.
I believe it, because if this is a 2018 game, they gotta sell it with gameplay, of course. But yeah, the Metroid Prime 4 is not gonna have gameplay at E3. I'm
still betting on you screaming though.
Oh, you know it, dude. I'm gonna lose my voice again. I wouldn't be able to talk at all. My voice box would just be popped up like in that SpongeBob episode. You know what I'm talking about, Alan?
Right? Yeah, but I'm genuinely worried reading that. It's been an honor already.
All right, so. Dreamcast Gold.
We'll walk into the Starbucks, okay?
I gotta run, guys. I'm sorry to cut it short. I'm just dead tired. I swam in a lake for 5 hours today. I can't keep my eyes open. I gotta go to bed. But it's been a total blast. I will throw out my least likely prediction. I do hope that someday we see Eternal Darkness again. I love Eternal Darkness. So okay, right. But it's been a pleasure, gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm super excited.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
My pleasure. Y'all are awesome.
Bye-bye. Okay, so
what are the Game of Talk After Dark, guys? This is what get a little fucking freaky. Okay,
we don't have to be dreamy here because he's gone.
All right, guys.
No, but
Get
I'm more of a
Real
GameCube
quick,
guy
just-
anyway.
For those of you in the chat, just another big thanks to Dreamcast guy. I'm
Oh,
sure you
yeah.
have heard of his channel, but if you haven't, definitely go check him
This
out.
stuff's amazing. I was actually really excited when Joey said that we were gonna have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad I missed a good chunk of it.
Yeah. Oh well. The man's tired. We'll have him back another time. But
5 hours
whatever.
in a lake swimming. Dang.
Yeah. No thanks. I can't
That's
stand
how
it.
I got. Oh yeah, sure.
All right. So what's your 50-50, Alan?
Ooh, the 50-50. That's a tough one. I'm gonna have to skip for now. Put me at the end of the title. I can't think of a 50-50 at the
God
moment.
damn it, Alan! you messed up. Okay.
Look, I'll cook you guys dinner at E3. Okay, just
Oh,
There
you
you
threw
go.
off my groove. Okay. Vanilla Super Gaming. What's your 50-50?
So my 50-50, I have a few, but I think the one I want to say here would be Spyro getting announced for the Switch, because I think it was held off just because Nintendo wanted to say that themselves.
Yes, I believe it.
So maybe it'll have some exclusive Switch functionality. So
vanilla.
Functionality.
feng shui.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, we only have 2 minutes. Let's go through this. I'm just fucking kidding. Whatever. Okay. So my 50-50 prediction. I really, really want a new Animal Crossing on Switch. Like,
That's my least likely. Hey!
you think that's least likely, Alan?
Well, yeah. As much as I love Animal Crossing to death, and it's easy to make, I would say,
Go play the
It's-
mobile game.
It's been
yeah. Go play the
5
mobile game, you chode.
It's
Oh.
been 5 years since
I just
New
think
Leaf.
Animal
gotta be
Crossing
worth-
should die in a burning fire and just should never
Oh.
come back.
Hey.
Go catch some bugs.
I just think that's a horrible franchise, and I think that anyone who justifies it should, reconsider their gaming life.
What if it was? Bear with me. Animal Crossing Battle Royale.
I didn't even say that. Gosh dang it!
Are we
Because-
dropping into town, boys?
I stole it from Awesome
just-
Gamer in the comments.
whenever you get, I did see that. That's funny. Whenever you get a notification, like instead of the storms closing, it's just what's his name? The dog.
Oh, KK Slider.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, big guy, sun's getting real low.
I need to take out a loan. He needs to take out a life.
Honestly, it would be Tom Nook just closing in on you. Just going,
Yeah.
where's my fucking money, bitch? Where are my bells? I gotta pay your mortgage. All
I
right,
need those
Chris.
microtransaction money real fast.
All right, Christine.
Oh, screw you, hippie.
Oh,
So,
Crimson, believe me, I know how much I triggered people with that, but I'm not ashamed.
so this is a 50-50. We know Sega is going to be showing off their Sonic Racing game for going to be whatever systems. But they might also, from some rumors I've heard, we might be getting a Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 for the Switch.
What?
Whew, that's making me sweat.
That would make me so happy, but I don't see why that would make sense.
It makes tons of sense. Everyone loves them.
Everyone except everyone.
What? No, Adventure
I
2 is like everybody's
no.
like boost formula. Let's go back to adventure mode. Like,
But like, here's the thing: the adventure mode. With all due respect, I fucking love the adventure mode too. But if that game was made today, no, it would not happen. But I want this.
so I'm
rumor
going to
to
give
be
you a second to
real.
retract that. I'm responding.
No, I want that to happen too. It's just random fucking rumor. Like,
Well,
I don't know.
okay, here's my problem. And I'm going to say this so we can get back on track. But I just am so tired of Sega not knowing what to do. They're like throwing everything at the wall and like, oh, that didn't stick. Oh, that stuck for a little bit. So let's go get. Oh, nope,
Stuck
it's
for a
gone.
little.
Boost. Nope, boost formula's gone too. Damn it.
Fucking-
Let's just
Okay,
make
so-
everything Sonic Mania.
I was about to say literally the same exact thing. Chris and I were just two peas of the same '90s pod.
Wait, a remake of Sonic Mania? Is that what you said?
No, just everything Sonic Mania.
Oh.
Everything.
everything, literally everything, just Sonic Mania.
Alex Kidd, more like Sonic Mania 2
Sonic
Yeah.
Adventure Mania 2.
with Cow Garden.
Featuring
is-
the new Funky Kong mode.
Time for my 50-50.
Starring Dante from Devil May Cry.
I'd say for my 50-50, it would probably I feel we're gonna get something Bayonetta 3, hopefully, even if it's just a release date 2019.
I don't think it's 2019. Never mind. I agree with that. I agree with that. I thought it just
I
said
just think we're gonna get
thing.
some sort. It's not gonna be gameplay at all. I just think we're gonna get some sort of like
Trailer.
actual CGI trailer that explains more of how she got ripped in half. That's like, does that mean new character? Does that mean different story? We don't know, but I hope we find out.
Well,
what does it mean?
Platinum announced working on 3 different titles, I believe. It was 3 or 4 titles,
Yeah.
and of course that's going to be one of them.
Of course.
Hopefully a traditional Star Fox game.
Man, yeah, you know, it could happen.
Yep.
Who knows? But yeah. So Alan, you gave your 50-50. Kyle, what's your super impossible prediction?
My super impossible prediction is Kingdom Hearts 3 coming to the Switch.
Oh,
damn!
Oh, you dreamer!
I know, that's why I said super impossible.
It's Kingdom Hearts 3 cloud mode, bro.
Don't you know that the United States doesn't do the Dreamer Act anymore?
Oh my gosh, you're a horrible person.
That was so bad. That was terrible.
I have Mexicans in the chat; they'll deport you.
Fuck Donald Trump. But yeah, that I hope that Kingdom Hearts. Connor and I had a long discussion on whether or not Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to come to the Switch in our podcast. I'm like, I think it'll happen. And Conrad thinks we're not going to see Sora in Smash if we don't see Kingdom Hearts 3.
I was about to say the same thing.
But why the fuck is Cloud in Smash already? He's not on any Nintendo console.
Well, like Crimson says in the chat, Final Fantasy VII on remake is a possibility now that they're like completely redoing it. So
who knows? Who knows when that game's coming out too? Like really?
Yeah, and Cloud has an amiibo too. So like, if he doesn't come back for this one, I mean that's a shame.
It's a shame. It is
a waste of manufacturing time.
Right.
What if they replace Cloud with Sora?
I don't know how I feel about that.
We don't trade lives in the Avengers, okay?
All right, but you guys know how I like to do my impossible predictions. Lights fade. So of course this. Oh God, yeah, but this is if Retro's not working on a Star Fox Grand Prix, or if it is one of their projects one of the 3 projects they're working on or something. I don't know, but like we see a CGI trailer. It's got sci-fi themes to it. You see some evil alien dude in the shot of this CGI trailer, and then you see the camera's like panning out, and then a shot of but then like a hand comes into the shot, and then fire is slowly brewing on the hand, and then you hear PK fire.
Oh man.
Earthbound, baby, is coming back in new art style, new everything, revamped for this new generation, and it's just the world goes fucking nuts.
I guess I might as well just say my impossible thing. Mother 3.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
Thanks, Joey.
I would love a remastered. I would love a remastered trilogy. So not only will that bring Earthbound 3 or Mother 3 to the States, or at least West in general, but also if they took the 3D style from like Smash.
I would say Link Between Worlds, to be honest. Even if
that'd be great too.
That would be great. Yeah. What if that's what Grezzo's working on?
Well, I mean, I'll just say this really quick. We did get Earthbound Beginnings, so Earthbound 3 isn't too far fetched. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it would be called in the United States. Instead of Mother 3, it'd be Earthbound 3.
Well, if there's 2 franchises that Nintendo clearly just does not care about anymore, it's Earthbound and F-Zero. So, yeah.
Well, why'd they go to the trouble of releasing Earthbound Beginnings then? It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
A lot of fans requested it.
Yeah.
Especially after the sales of Earthbound on the Sumaru.
And how crazy. Yeah.
What were you saying, Kyle?
Well, I just had a random thought too, because we were talking about how much we hate the Grand Prix idea. But what if? I mean, what if there was a F-Zero time? What if like a?
Well, that was initially.
Mother Grand Prix.
I thought the Mother Grand Prix. Motherfucker. But I thought that was the initial rumor that it was going to be a F-Zero Star Fox crossover. But we also heard rumors about a Metroid Star Fox crossover back in the Wii U days. I'm just like,
what if that's what this is? It's a trifecta.
Please kill yourself, but don't do that, kids.
All right, now I'll give you my far-fetched idea. And this
far-fetched,
is I wish it'll probably never happen. And
Pokemon Let's Go far-fetched.
Shut up, Kyle.
Okay.
I need like a Kyle, Cartman picture right now. Shut up, Kyle.
Shut up, Kyle.
So Golden Sun, a new Golden Sun.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would love. Love to see that happen.
It's not gonna happen, but you know, that's the point of these. That's the point of these impossible predictions. My real impossible prediction is that Metroid Prime 4 is already out right now, and I'm playing it with in my mansion.
I don't need your Commonwealth realm clout in here, okay? So shut up.
Listen, fuck boy.
Plus, it'll never happen since you know our friends at Camelot are working at on Mario Tennis.
Woo! I can't wait.
Mario...
Demo's out on June 1st.
No,
I'm excited.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. June 1st to June 3rd.
Oh, the test fire. Okay, never mind.
Get your head out of your butt, Joey.
Sorry, my butt is so big. And it's just like, your mom likes it.
Dude, my mom's dead. Stop.
No, she is. Oh my god. Oh, by the way, Joey, I forgot to tell you this past few years.
I know you've grown up with me for all of my existence, but you missed it last weekend.
Damn.
Last weekend.
You want to hear my true never gonna happen prediction?
What?
Nintendo will announce that they're going to release the dockless version of the Switch.
Oh.
You know, Nintendo said they don't plan on releasing it in the Americas, but I don't fucking buy it for 1 second. They're gonna.
So I want to pick your brain.
If they like money, they're gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, and I want to pick your brains about this, guys, because apparently the rumor is that not only does it not come with a dock, but it doesn't have docking capability.
That would be
like
scary.
It is straight up just by itself a Switch portable.
That would be scary. I don't want to live in that reality.
Well, to be honest, didn't they say something about they're working already on like a different version of the Switch?
I think that's what this is.
So yeah, this would be feasible. This would be something. And like Joey's been on a tirade all day today on Twitter and Facebook, be like, "Oh, you guys think it's just gonna be in Japan? Oh no, I got a beer."
Joey just needs to shut the hell up on Twitter about that.
Don't kill yourself.
His dumb, not knowing dock ass Last Jedi bullshit.
Oh my gosh, Joey, we can't bring that up. Oh, we can't.
We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Don't do it, Alan.
You not do it. Shut up, dude.
Don't do it. Don't you.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
My description on my Twitter. That's all you need to know.
Let's move on. We love you, Joey. Don't forget that.
Let's move on to the outro, because this is the outro, because we're done with our Nintendo predictions.
This is the end
of the world as we know it. But yes, Alan, you missed my little music intro that I did, because you know what episode we're on, right?
We're on 69.
Boy, we're on episode 69, and I played Beethoven's.
So I came late.
As anyone would. But yeah, it's episode 69 for the family-friendly company of Nintendo. We talked about them, so that was exciting. But thank you all so much for joining us for this episode. For those of you watching on YouTube and those of you listening at home, thanks again, Dreamcast Guy Max, for joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at Dreamcast Guy. You can also find his YouTube channel. You probably already know who he is if you're watching this and you never heard of us because of him, because he's got a big following. Dreamcast Guy on YouTube and Facebook and all that other stuff. But yeah, thanks so much for being on. Sorry if you got tired. Swinging a lake does that to you. But Chris, where can we find you?
You can find me on social media at NukeTheChris. You'll be able to keep up with all of our stuff, especially with E3 just around the corner. You can also follow. You can go to my YouTube page with. I don't even remember what my YouTube page anymore is.
Damn.
Because all my content comes on Nuke the Fridge Gaming now.
Is that right?
Yeah, I know. I have a video that you're gonna finish editing for me. I think hopefully today, if you have time, or tomorrow.
I'm heading. Yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow because I have to go get out of my house right now.
Where can we find you, Joey?
You can find me on Twitter at FerrisWheelPro. You can find my video works on Nuke the Fridge, of course, on YouTube right here, and Commonwealth Realm as well. And Ferris Wheel Productions, I upload once a year, probably. I don't know. This might be a bad year. Who knows? But anyway, Alan, where can we find you?
You can find me at Curly Supreme on Twitter. I'm trying to get to 300 followers, so smash that damn like button real fast. On my Twitter though, smash that bell. You can find my written works at nukethefridge.com, and we also have videos. If anybody doesn't know, if you go check out our video library, got some stuff. Recently we did a review on Ikaraga, and it was really good.
It was really good.
It was fantastic.
If
I
I could
still need to buy
recommend a game,
Ikaruga.
if I could, what's up?
I still need to buy Ikaruga. I know it just came out, so I gotta do that. I just picked up a bunch of games this week.
I just started. Well, I'm halfway through Bloodstained at the moment. I'm hoping to have a review of that sometime up this week, as well as probably a spotlight video of a game for E3. So who knows? Just don't forget to subscribe. That's all I'm saying. What? How hard is that?
And Kyle, where can we find you? And don't fucking say we can find you online.
Oh, dang it.
I read the chat too, motherfucker.
You can find me right here. I'm pointing
Sorry,
at you.
Army, he outed me.
Got him.
Got him. Yeah, so you can find me everywhere. Social media is found at Super Gaming. As you can see, I'm on the chat as well. So just follow that right there. But yes, everywhere. Super Gaming.
SOUPER, not SUPER. And yes,
What is
cool
your
person.
favorite
We
soup?
are negative 12 minutes left. Holy shit. Shut the fuck up.
No, I gotta know this now. I gotta hold the phone.
I love
What's
it.
your favorite soup?
What is my favorite soup?
He's praying.
Put you on the spot. What is your favorite soup? You better know.
He left.
He bailed.
Oh.
He booked
He
it.
fucking bailed, that bastard. Oh my god.
He prayed and went, dude.
Oh my god. Well, Alan,
Thanos was not kind to his ass. I will say that.
you know why he calls himself Super Gaming, right?
No.
Because his last name's Campbell.
Oh, I get it.
You dumb cuck.
I guess he just doesn't like soup though. That's why he left.
No.
But last thing I want to mention is we are doing a giveaway every week leading up to E3. Last week we gave away a shirt for the Call of Duty event.
What's this week?
It's gonna be the posters.
Woo!
Yes.
We're gonna give away one of the two-sided posters, which should go up within the next day or two, probably.
Yes, and we'll definitely go up the next day.
All you gotta
Since,
do is check out the link, go to Gleam, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and you got a chance to win.
You'll see what the rules when I post it on Gleam. So don't worry if you don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yep. So I'll be sending out the winner for the shirt on Tuesday, since tomorrow's a holiday. For some people, it's already tomorrow, but it'll be out on Tuesday either way. So yeah, make sure you just keep an eye, because we got plenty of things in line to give away,
Perfect.
and possibly
All right,
we got E3 to give away too.
It's E3 season, guys. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Isn't
2
that beautiful?
weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And then we have 4 weeks for Anime Expo,
Yeah, boy. That's going to be a fun
boy.
one.
and then like 6 weeks for me for Comic Con.
Yep, that's true.
That
too.
was what I did there was a Total Recall reference.
I get it. I just
Good. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you next week when we talk about every other company that's going to be at E3: Bethesda, Ubisoft, EA, Square Enix. Not in that order. Well, EA, Bethesda, fucking, Bye.
It's gonna be fun. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, he's back.
Oh.